here is your takeaway moment. Okay, 5 minutes, I lost 90% of you. Okay? If I lose you folks, how am I going to explain it to a jury, right? Oh my goodness, you guys want to listen to me, or try to anyway. So the bottom line is, how do you get the jury to understand this? You go and get the mass spectrum, and you do kind of like Sesame Street. One of these things is not like the other one of these things. Okay? This is the standard. This is where the computer sits there and says, I know if it has those abundances, that it's coca-juana. And then you take the result that comes out of there and you go, well, there's 13, there's 31, there's 42, there's 43. What is going on here? Is it coca-juana or isn't it? And I'm going to go out on a limb and basically tell you that your state expert is not going to be able to answer that question. Unless you have been to a completely rigorous type of ACS, or American Chemical Society course, you're not going to be able to answer that question. But a jury, it looks beautiful, because the truth is it's different. And this is the most particularized device that there is. So what you have to do is you have to insist on getting the standard, compare it against. And that goes with all types of analysis, and particularly, again, with marijuana. You're looking for simple hairs, syphilitic hairs. You're looking at the protocols. They have protocols for everything in your state lab. Does anyone here have their protocol for how they identify marijuana? Okay, go get it. You're going to be amazed. And it's basically going to come down to this. I know it because I see it. Okay? What they're looking for is they're going to use a color-related test, thin layer chromatography. They almost never use GCMS because it just doesn't work out, because you have to turn into a gaseous state. They're looking for resin glands, syphilitic hairs. It bubbles with acid. They use some sort of Duquesnoy Levine test to differentiate it. And thin layer chromatography. Very quick course on thin layer chromatography, because that's what they're doing for screening. And sometimes that's what they're really doing, is when they say, this substance that we found in the car was definitely marijuana, or was it definitely MDMA. All they're doing is thin layer chromatography. So what you do is you extract the substance, you spot it on the plate, and this is a vertical representation. It's literally just kind of like a piece of paper. It goes up and down. And what happens is you place in the solvent, which goes at the bottom of the plate, and through capillary action, the solvent goes up, just like when you have that Downy, paper towel, and you spill something, and you're able to put it on its end, and it sucks it up. Same exact thing, capillary action. Watch the solvent front as it goes apart, and it'll do basically what we call spotting that comes out from there. It'll develop, which means color it, and it'll come out with certain colors. Then you read the distance between the color, the resolution, and the standard, and aha, there you go. Very good example. What they do is they run different types all at once. This is a panel from one of my cases. This is known THC. That's your standard. That's what they're saying the color should look like, the distance should look like, and everything like that. These are all unknowns from cases. So that's the one that we say, hey, that one's definitely THC. That one, there's nothing there. Okay? That means that there's something someone brought that was a green leafy substance, and the police officer arrested someone, and it turned out, well, guess what? It turned out not to be marijuana. But the bigger question I have here is, what is all the rest of this? What is all of the rest of that? What does it mean? It doesn't look like my standard. It doesn't look like my standard at all. And you can see how subjective a lot of this stuff is. If you showed a jury how subjective a lot of these conclusions are and how non-scientific they are, that's half the battle. That's why I say the truth and the science is how you present these cases.